Hi everybody, Candy here. It doesn't surprise me at all that we started the gratitude week with video number 1 all about healing and we end on this card. It doesn't surprise me at all. I bought a candle for my love altar yesterday. Perhaps talking about the 2 of hearts, I need to light it. So I thought, why not? The 2 of hearts, the soulmate card. If you pull this card and your path through love has been one of betrayal and gaslighting and abuse and smear campaigns, and this card is really tricky to pull. So I looked at this card as the 2 that it is, and 2s across all the suits represent balance. It's that idea of duality, of compromise, of balance, of things working together. And I found something within the numerology of this card to be grateful for, that idea of balance. Now, the 2 of hearts or the 2 of cups, we all know, is about balance in love. It often refers to finding your soulmate. But what if that balance in love comes wrapped in a different form? Now, if you're raised in a narcissistically controlled environment, there are lots of different paths you can go. For me, I was the codependent in the house, and I think that's why I'm really good at chess, because I can read things 20 steps ahead, because it's what I learnt to do. As a kid, I would read different plays. How could that play out? How could that play out? How can I change that situation? How can I say something there to detract that from happening? And that's what I did. And I became a people pleaser and very codependent. It turns you into an empath because you're picking up on really subtle cues because you've had to keep safe. And in that codependency over the years, my whole outlook on love was trained to be very out of balance. So I want to go through a few of these things that I'm really grateful for, that are now more back in balance, and hopefully somebody watching, some of these things may resonate and you can learn from me. When balance falls apart in love, you can see it in different areas. You can see it in your time management, how your time is controlled. In your physical environment, you'll be able to see it. In your hobbies and your dreams and your goals, you'll see it in those areas. In your autonomy and your free will, you'll see the balance gone there. In your financial life, you'll see it. In your spiritual life, you may see it. In your mental health, which affects all those areas, you'll see it as well. In your human contacts and your relationships with other people, you'll see it. It covers all areas. When this balance of the 2 is gone, with time, I always felt rushed. There was never any time for me. All the demands of the life, all the challenges, all the things to do, all the jobs, it was all heaped on me. I had no time for play. I had no time for anything that I felt important. There was no time to get dressed. There was no time to have a shower. There was no time to brush my hair. There was no time to put makeup on. And when you're in it and that balance has gone and you think it's all on you, the only thing I ever thought was, I must try harder. I'm failing. I must try harder. Other people's voices of abuse, you pick up, you become the same voice. So your time is all askew. There's that constant feeling of being rushed. My mental health completely fell apart, and again I thought it was all my fault. I must try harder. Why am I discontent? Why am I resentful? Resentment is a massive red flag. I think if you've got resentment coming into your everyday, there's a balance gone somewhere massively. So look for resentment. Also confusion. I think in love, we go through the full gamut of emotions, and that's fine. Some days you adore each other, sometimes they get on every single nerve you've got. There will be disagreements, there will be arguments, but underpinning that and all those darker emotions, there should be a foundation of wanting what's best for each other, or finding a compromise for each other, and wanting to support each other to become each of your best selves. So there's always that underlying, you've got each other's best interest at heart. When that isn't there, and that's underpinned instead by a lack of balance, then you'll find that confusion creeps in. I think anger, yes. Frustration, yes. Impatience, yes, in relationships. Confusion is a red flag. There shouldn't be confusion in a relationship. And if there is, there should be the time to sit down and discuss what you're confused about openly, to clarify, to find a solution, and to move on. If that confusion is a constant thread that permeates everything in the relationship, huge red flag. I think I spent a decade confused, thinking, but I must have got the wrong end of the stick. Well, you did that. Well, was that me? No, you didn't say that. Constant confusion. And that's a sign of gaslighting. And I think now we all know what the term gaslighting is. And I got to the point where somebody could say to me, that's a microwave, it's not a tarot card. And I would probably have thought, oh, okay, I thought it was a tarot card. But that's what it did to my mental health. The permeating confusion through every second completely destroyed my ability to trust myself in anything. And then that takes away your autonomy and free will, which is another huge area where the balance can become askew. I can't even fathom now the amount of times I said to people, oh, I'm not allowed to do that. Oh, I'm not allowed that. I'm not allowed a phone. I'm not allowed to be on Facebook. I'm not allowed a laptop. Or I'm not allowed to play music. I'm not allowed. I mean, now I can't even get my head around the fact that autonomy and free will was taken away from me without a fight. But it's like a dripping tap, isn't it? And if you've been raised in that environment where you're codependent, you're so busy and rushed trying to make everybody else happy. Somebody starts a drip of a dripping tap on your head that slowly, drip by drip, saturates you without even knowing you're soaked through. And it's like that with free will and autonomy. You know, people start to say, oh, don't you think it would be better? It's really subtle to start with. Or, oh, I preferred it when you did that. And you start to mould and shape yourself. And then bigger things kick in. No, we can't afford that. I don't think you're responsible enough for that. No, that won't suit you. I know what's best. And before you know it, you're asking permission for everything, and that's the place I got into. So your time, your mental health, levels of confusion, your free will and your autonomy. If you feel you need permission for everything, that's a massive sign that the balance has gone. How you spend your time as well, your dreams, your goals, your hobbies. If they have gone and you've stopped doing it, then you must stop and ask yourself why. It's really hard when you're in it to do that. I was given no time or space for my art. I was not allowed an art studio. I was told that all of my stuff was just play. It was not taken seriously. So my running stopped, my gardening stopped, my hobbies stopped, my dreams stopped, and there was nothing left for me. It was all about supporting somebody else's dreams. So if you find that the balance has gone in that area as well, it's something to be very wary of. your contact with other people. I hadn't seen friends, I realised, for a decade after I got out of this situation. Over a decade. Financial constraints as well. I had no access to any money, having had my own house and my own business, and also being a full-time teacher. I went from that to all the money being taken into an account that I had no control over. It was dressed up as you're not responsible enough with money. I was told with the account that all my money was being put into that it was the type of account you could only get one credit card for. And years later, I found in the corner of a loft a brown bag full of credit cards for that account with my name on it that had been cut up in half over the years and hidden from me. So if you're suddenly asking for your own money back, or being told that you don't contribute, if you're going without financially while your partner isn't, but you've just got to stop and question it. So there are lots of areas where balance can become undone. Your time, your goals, your dreams, your hobbies, your finances, your mental health, the environment that you live in as well. If your actual physical space within the home just reflects that one person and there is no space for you, then again, that's another sign. So your environment, your house can even give you signs. You have to stay open to it. It took me an awful lot. All of that I rolled with. And it took something really dramatic to kick me into waking up that this balance wasn't there. So the twos, they're all about balance. You have to stay alert to when the balance has gone. And in a decent relationship worth its salt, if the balance has gone and you're confused about it, you should be able to talk about it. The card also says, as you'd meditate on the deeper meanings of this card, remember that your own heart can be a rainbow bridge of living colour and light, linking you to the source of the divine child within and helping you to heal old wounds in the heart of a loved one. So link your own amazing colours, your uniqueness, back to your own heart. Come back to yourself. We've gone full circle this week and we're back to this idea of a road back to yourself. In this card, it's a rainbow bridge back to your own inner child. And to heal codependency and to heal getting into these type of relationships on repeat, which I have done in the last 6 years of dating. I've opened myself up once to love properly again, and that turned out to be a repeat of the same behaviours, the same things going on behind the scenes, the same demanding of everything for the other person. It was a repeat. How can you do a repeat? But you do until you heal core wounds, and for that you do have to go back to the inner child, which is why this deck is so good. It takes you back to inner child healing all the time. And if your inner child has been wounded from the get-go and has these patterns of over-giving from the get-go, you do have to go all the way back to heal it and to get the balance. This card can symbolise either two people sharing love or two aspects of one person striving for unity and wholeness. So if any of these areas of imbalance strike anybody, I would implore you to look for ways that you can strive to find balance and wholeness for yourself. And I think the final message of this week is you are important too. If you are confused, if your dreams have been handed over to somebody else, if financially you're stuck, if your mental health is deteriorating while somebody else thrives, if your home has been taken over and everything that you find important is poo-hooed as ridiculous. If there's balance gone anywhere, then just remember that you are important too. So I am grateful for this journey of healing. I have now got to a boundary place where I will spot imbalance and call it out immediately with no shame or feelings that I'm not allowed to. I don't ask permission these days for anything. There is no permission asking, and I'm not as scared to upset people as I used to be. I know my own integrity. I know my own heart. I know that I look after people. If people are upset that I want to claim that I'm important too, then they're not my people. So I am grateful for healing and finding balance. Not a soulmate yet, but I've got my candle burning. I know there's a kind soulmate out there somewhere. Who knows? Somebody who doesn't confuse, somebody that has integrity and speaks truth, and somebody that can compromise, find balance, and love like a grown-up. So I'm grateful for loving like a grown-up these days, not a codependent child wanting to please. So that's it, guys. Oh my goodness, 7 videos for the gratitude challenge. It's been the most wonderful way of getting to know a deck. I'm going to continue the gratitude practice in my own journal. I'm going to carry this on, not making videos about it, but carrying it on. And carrying on using this deck now, because now each card, it just means so much to me. The cards that I've pulled and I've worked with, it connects the deck literally to your soul and your heart. So thank you so much for joining along with the last 7 days. Thank you, Jen at Science to Soul Tarot, whose videos I will be linking again. Her channel is wonderful. She's just so lovely. So I'm sure you have all seen Jen's channel, but if you haven't, do spend the time to click on the links and to say hi to her, because it was her tag and her idea, and I'm really thankful for it. So here's to us all finding balance and spotting it immediately when it's gone, and being badass enough to call it out when it's gone, because you're important too. Bye, guys.